Hello, boys and girls. Today, we're going to learn about something very mysterious and fascinating from the Bible on my YouTube channel, Timeless Bible Story. Have you ever heard of the word Nephilim? These were the giants mentioned in the Bible, and their story is both exciting and full of lessons for us. So get ready for an adventure into ancient times when the world was very, very different. Long, long ago, when the world was still young, people began to fill the earth. God had created Adam and Eve, and from them came many children and families. As people spread across the land, something strange began to happen. The Bible tells us in Genesis chapter 6 that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves. But who were these sons of God? Many believe they were angels who left their place in heaven and came down to earth. And when these angels married human women, something unusual happened. Their children were born as giants called Nephilim. The Nephilim were very big, very strong, and very powerful. Imagine someone so tall that they made the trees look small beside them. But here's the thing. Though they were strong and mighty, they were not living the way God wanted. They became proud, violent, and selfish. They used their strength to hurt others instead of helping them. God looked at the earth and saw that people were not obeying him anymore. The giants, the Nephilim, filled the land with trouble. The world was no longer peaceful. The Bible says God's heart was saddened when he saw how wicked the world had become. He had made people to love him and love one another, but instead they chose violence. The Nephilim were part of this problem. Their presence showed how far the world had gone from God's plan. So God decided to start fresh. He planned a great flood to wash away all the evil and give the world a new beginning. But God is always loving and merciful. Among all the people on the earth, one man named Noah was faithful. He walked with God and obeyed his voice. God told Noah to build a giant boat called an ark, big enough to hold his family and animals of every kind. While the Nephilim and others laughed at Noah, he kept building because he trusted God. And then, when the rain began to fall, Noah and his family entered the ark. God shut the door, and the great flood began. For 40 days and nights, rain poured down. The waters covered even the tallest mountains. The Nephilim and all the people who had chosen wickedness were gone. But inside the ark, Noah, his family, and the animals were safe, protected by God. The flood cleansed the earth, and God's plan for a fresh new start had begun. But wait a minute. The Bible tells us something surprising. Even after the flood, we still hear about giants. For example, when the Israelites explored the land of Canaan, they said, "We saw giants there, the descendants of Anak." And do you remember the famous giant Goliath? He was one of the Philistines who fought against David. So giants, or people very much like the Nephilim, appeared again after the flood. But here's something important to remember. Even though giants looked scary and strong, they were no match for God's power. When young David faced Goliath, he didn't depend on size or strength. He trusted in God, and with just a sling and a stone, he defeated the mighty giant. This shows us that no matter how big our problems may seem, with God on our side, we can overcome anything. So, what can we learn from the story of the Nephilim? 1. Giants may look powerful, but God is stronger than all. 2. Living God's way, kindness, obedience, and love is always better than pride and violence. 3. When the world seems scary, we can trust God, just like Noah and David did. The Nephilim remind us that we don't have to be the biggest or strongest. What matters most is a heart that loves and obeys God. The story of the Nephilim may sound like a mystery, but the message is clear. God's power is greater than any giant, and his love is always with us. Thank you for joining this adventure today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing Bible stories. Until next time, remember, with God, even the smallest person can do great things.